Hello YouTube, my name's Marie, and today I had planned to do a wrap-up video because there's been a lot of shows lately that I've been watching, like a few episodes here and a few episodes there, that I just haven't had a chance to talk about. And then I got a comment. E-Man, I think it's E-Man, it's like E and then man. Is it like E-Man, like oh you're a strong man, or is it Iman? Not exactly sure. We're gonna go with Iman. Iman said, "Hey, I quite like your recommendations and reviews, so I was thinking of suggesting a video where you could give out quarantine K-drama must-watch or something like that, since I'm kind of left dry without having anything to binge right now or something similar, so that'd be quite interesting and helpful, only if you're up to it though. Love your videos." So first of all, yeah, I am up for it, and second of all, thanks for the comment, that's so sweet. So in my last recommendations video, the one I did for Itaewon class-based recommendations, I had the video kind of split into categories. I really liked that format. I'm a list-oriented person, so I think the categories helped me quite a bit with the brainstorming, because it's hard for me if someone just says, give me a recommendation, and I'm like, on what? Like, there's so much content. Like, what do you like? Like, what are you looking for? Like, it's really hard for me to give like broad recommendations because my taste might be different from yours. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing with this video, and I'll have time slots in the description because, as you probably already see, the runtime for this video is going to be long. I have like over 20 different K-drama recommendations. Again, another disclaimer, because I have so many, I'm not going to be able to talk really in depth on every single one. I'm hoping that based off of the category and kind of my really brief synopsis of them, you'll be able to pick and choose the shows that sound a little bit interesting to you, and then you can go look up trailers or something like that. The first category is quite a large category. I've actually broken the first category into subcategories, and this is what I'm calling the like escapism category. Like, you are just tired of 2020. 2020 is kind of lame. You just kind of want to escape either to like a different time period or like a different world or a different universe. Like, you just need out of 2020 for a good 16 hours. So the category within this category is historical K-dramas, and the first one I'm going to talk about is Kingdom. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually recommend you guys to go and watch a beautifully made historical K-drama centering around a life-threatening disease during our modern pandemic. But it's really good, and both seasons are out right now, and if you wanted to, I'm not saying you should. So the first true recommendation I have for you is Empress Key. This one is a few years old, and it's an epic. Like, I believe it's 40 episodes long, so if you're really looking for something to just dive right into and like really soak up a lot of your time, Empress Key is where it's at. It's a huge epic. Like, you're just following this one woman who starts as like a regular peasant, starting basically at the bottom and working all the way up to becoming an empress. Just, like, the journey of Empress Key is a lot of fun. I got just completely sucked into it when I started watching. Next, I have written down My Country, the New Age. So in all honesty, I didn't actually finish My Country, the New Age. I fell out of it in the later half, but I just absolutely adored the first 4 to 6 episodes. I thought they were just perfectly done, and My Country, the New Age is about two young men who are very close. Like, they are like this. Like, they're just two peas in a pod, except for they get separated and end up fighting on opposite and opposing sides. Really good, full of angst, but has some wonderful character dynamics. The soldier camaraderie in this show is just great. And then the last historical K-drama I'm going to talk about is Master of the Mask. This one is also a few years old, and what I really loved about this show was not the romance, because there is a romance, but it's super lackluster. What I really loved about it was just the complete growth that the prince goes through. And this is quite a standard story. It is about a prince who's fighting against an evil and corrupt corporation. Is that the right word for like Joseon period stuff? Like, were there corporations in the Joseon period? Organization. We're gonna go with organization. So it's a prince fighting against an organization who is really like pulling all the strings behind the court. Now, what I really, really loved about this is how our prince starts so naive, so annoying, like just the way he acts. He has no concept of the repercussion of his actions, like he has no real world experience. And then by the end of the show, he has completely grown into this leader that you really, really root for. Okay, so subcategory number 2 for our first category of escapism is the altered reality. So you're still set in present day South Korea, but something's a bit different about it. And the first one is Extraordinary You. Extraordinary You is about a girl in high school who discovers that she's actually a character inside a webtoon or a comic book. And not only is she a character within like an author's world, but she's also not the lead character. So she has very little agency and she's disposable because she's not the lead. And on top of all of that, she has a heart condition, and it's written in her destiny, like in the author's plans to kill off this character. The second one is Love Alarm, and if you haven't watched Love Alarm yet, I think you really should, because season 2 is coming out in August, I think, and it's following, well, it's got like several different timelines, but you start with the characters in high school when a new app is released. This app is very similar to Tinder in a way, where it gives you a heart notification when someone in a 10-meter radius has a crush on you. So well done in the way that it's taking this really outlandish concept and bringing it down to a very realistic level and saying, okay, if this app really existed, how would it interact with our society? And that's what the show's about. I mean, you know, there's obviously our lead characters and there's a love triangle going on, and I have honestly no idea who she's gonna end up with, which is so exciting, which is just so great. Yeah, it's really about this concept that is just executed so well. Like, I'm so eagerly looking forward to season 2. I've watched Love Alarm 3 times. Okay, and kind of a bonus one for this first escapism category, doesn't fall into either of the subcategories of being a historical or altered reality show. It's its own thing, and it's a fantasy. We don't get very many fantasy K-dramas. I think if you're looking for a high concept fantasy world to fall into, you're gonna have better luck in C-drama land. They're really good at costume dramas. But the main one I'm going to talk about is Arthel Chronicles. To put it simply, it's a fantasy that's exploring the Korean creation myth. That's all I'm really going to say, because it's quite complicated. And again, it's a high fantasy. There's like lore and different races and like different groups vying for power. Like, there's a lot going on. So that's everything for our first category. We are moving on. Are you social distancing from your significant other? Or are you just single during quarantine, and quarantine is making you realize just how single you are? Or are you just someone who's looking for a little bit of sugar? This is the category for you. The very first one that came to mind when I was thinking of a really cute, really sweet romance was Touch Your Heart. Oh my goodness, their relationship is like the epitome of puppy love. Next, I have a show that I'm currently watching, and that is Beauty Inside. I was actually in Korea when this was airing. I remember being in a bus and they had the first episode playing. I only knew it was the first episode recently when I actually went back to give it a try, because when I was watching it on the bus, I was like, this looks weird. Like, she was doing one of her transformations where she transforms into like the big guy. And I just thought like, oh, this looks weird. Like, I would not be drawn to watching this. But now that I've given it a chance, it has just so much heart, and the couple, so, like, they're a great ping pong match. Like, they're equals in almost every way. I'm hoping to do a full review of Beauty Inside when I've actually finished it, and that is why my thoughts are all just like right now. But if you want to know what it is, it's about a woman who once a month she transforms and she becomes a different person, and it's regardless of age and regardless of gender, and she has no control over this. So once a month she may wake up as like a 13-year-old boy or an 80-year-old woman. She is a top actress, and that's part of the show that I really, really like. I love shows that have to do with the entertainment industry and the behind the scenes elements of the entertainment industry. I just really like that stuff. Anyways, and she gets into business partnership with the male lead who has facial blindness. I know, I've already said before, I'm really tired of the facial blindness trope. This show came out at the height of the facial blindness trope trend, but it's done really well. The writing is so smart, and again, like the dialogue between them and their chemistry is so good. Next one for this category is Moment of 18. Moment of 18 is a high school age drama, really a coming of age story. It ends in a way that's really unexpected but very realistic, and it's just a true like adolescent transitioning to being a young adult story with responsibilities and love life and school. And last one I'm gonna mention, and those of you who've watched a lot of my videos might just roll your eyes, but that's Healer. I will take every chance I get to gush about Healer, and the romance in Healer is gushy. It's so cute. It gives me all of the ooey gooey feelings. It's just adorable. I love them together. There's a few others in this romance category that I've decided I'm just not going to mention, like Her Private Life and What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. You know, I think those shows are popular enough that, like, if you're searching for K-drama romances, they're gonna come up anyways. So, we're just moving on. You're in quarantine. You have all this time. Maybe you want to go back and watch some older K-dramas. Maybe you're new to K-drama land and you want to know what all of the hullabaloo is about past K-dramas. You can take this time to watch some of the older classics. And I might not be the best person to recommend classic K-dramas because I think I've basically only watched K-dramas from 2005 onwards. So like anything before that, which would be like really classic K-dramas, I haven't really seen those. A lot of people love Airs. A lot of people love Boys Over Flowers and My Love from Another Star. I personally didn't really enjoy those, but if you are wanting to watch things that like a lot of people have seen and a lot of people love and talk about online, those are ones you might want to check out. For me personally, the classics that I love and would personally recommend is Coffee Prince. 100%. Coffee Prince is about a kind of androgynous young woman, like she definitely has a more tomboyish masculine appearance, who gets mistaken for a man, but this gives her the opportunity to get a job. And she is her family's sole breadwinner, so she takes that opportunity. So it's not really a girl disguised as a boy show, it's more of like a girl mistaken as a boy show, and she's just like not really correcting people. Next, like classic would be Secret Garden. I think Secret Garden is the very first K-drama I've ever watched, and it's a romance about a stunt woman and a CEO, and it has a little bit of fantasy like sprinkled in there that was very surprising to me. The last one would be You're Beautiful. This is a girl disguised as a boy trope. Our female lead, she is a twin, and her twin brother is a member of an idol group. he goes to get surgery and it's a botched surgery, and while he's waiting to fix this plastic surgery, she needs to step in and make sure that his spot in the group is safe. So it's her story interacting with all of these guys. So it's kind of like a reverse harem, like if you've heard that term for animes before. Alright, we're in our second to last category, guys, and for this one I have a few underrated gems. So you've got some time, give it to K-dramas that I feel deserve more love online. Like, these shows are so good, and somehow I don't see them discussed very often. Like, I haven't seen any fan-made trailers or fan-made edits of these shows, and I'm like, why? They're so good. First one being Just Dance. This one I can kind of understand. It has a little bit more of an indie art house feel to it, and there's no really obvious romance. Another coming-of-age story, but it's really focusing on a group of girls who form a dance team. I absolutely loved it. Really think it deserves more love. Again, this one deserves a lot more love, a lot more recognition for how good it is, how smart the writing is, and I related to it on a really personal level, so I suggest it. Next one is Failing in Love. This one I think came out around December. So Failing in Love is just about a group of friends who are in high school and dealing with their like first real romantic interactions. Our last category, and this is one I need your guys' help with. When I was brainstorming like what someone might be craving for TV during a quarantine, I thought of a family drama, because if you're in self-isolation, you're probably not with your family. At least I wasn't for a while. I'm back at my parents' house at the moment. Frankly, I don't watch a lot of family dramas, so I need your guys' help. Comment down below if you know of a drama that has, say, like a really wonderful mother-daughter relationship, or a really fantastic portrayal of a sibling dynamic, or just things like that. So that's everything from me, you guys. I hope you found something that has at least piqued your interest enough to go and Google it, maybe watch a trailer or two, and then I hope you guys have found something to watch, something to binge. Yeah, everything from me. Have a good day, have a good night, bye.